I talk a lot about living in the flow of things. And I recently just disrupted my own flow of just life and being in my process. And it taught me so much. And I really think shaking things up just helps you actually go deeper into what really matters in your life. I was asked to go to Ibiza to speak and teach at Intelligent Change. And they had asked me a few times last year, and I just, I felt it's so far away with work and kids and just life logistics. Just it feels overwhelming to even have to like wrap your head around making any of that work. So it just felt like a no. It felt like too much. And they had asked me, and I had a few of my friends going, which, felt like an easy way to be influenced to go. But I'm at a place in life where I'm not so easily influenced at all. I do not have FOMO. I really like to lock into myself. And I think that that's a great thing. But what this trip taught me was something really profound that I needed to experience and see for myself. And when they asked me a few weeks before the event was on, I just felt this. Like Dylan was like, Melissa, are you sure you don't want to go to Intelligent Change? And I got this visceral yes. It was crazy, which is also just a really great reminder that a no does not mean no forever. It could just be no for right now. And that was also a really great lesson for me because I make every decision from my gut. I am a generator. I swear by living my life, really giving myself the permission of understanding that things are pretty black and white for me. It's either such an ecstatic yes, or it's like, no, not really interested. There's not really much in between, which is actually really great because I'm a very decisive person. But it was just interesting that this happened because I had already said no. So it was crazy that I got this drop in of a yes. And it wasn't even this drop in of like, I have to go teach here. It was, there's something that you need that you have no idea yet, but just go. So thanks to my amazing husband who was so supportive, by the way, because I threw this at him 3 weeks before I had to go. And it's a lot when you have kids. And, we had to see if our nanny could stay overnight those days and just kind of working it. You have to rework a lot of things with kids' schedules and sports. And he said to me, do you feel like you have to go? And I said, yes. And he was like, okay, then you have to go, which I just love. I think it is so important for your partner to see you, to get you, to understand you. And I feel like as my relationship with Noah has evolved over all of these years, like I feel like he sees me more and I see him more. And I think that that's just a really, really important thing. So I traveled there by myself. And when I got there, I could just feel, and Ibiza has that magnetic energy. There is just something about the island, and everyone says it, but it opens you up. And when I got there, I just felt this, I am going to go all in. And it hit like pretty quickly as soon as we got to Six Senses. It was like, you're here to teach, but you are really here to receive. And Alex and Mimi, who are the founders of Intelligent Change, who I just met for the first time on this trip. And I also have to give a huge shout out to Valeria Lipovetsky because she had recommended me to go there and to meet with, Alex and Mimi with the incredible work that they're doing. So At the end of the day, life really is about connections and relationships that you make with people. And I don't love the word networking because that feels so transactional. But when you meet people and you build these really nice connections, it just opens doors for so many incredible opportunities and new relationships to be built. And I just felt it. Like I was like, I am going all in. And I do that with everything. So it's like, it doesn't matter what is in front of me, I'm going to give it every single ounce of myself. But that is usually coming from a place of giving. I'm such a giver, which I think is such a beautiful thing. But sometimes you don't open up enough of your energy to actually receive and to let things in and to let other experiences and other people's teachings land. And I've been teaching and guiding for 10 years. I rarely take people's classes or do like a ton of workshops. And it just really opened my eyes to give myself this gift of experiencing other people's gifts. And from the moment that it started, for like the first dinner and listening to Luke from the Sanctum experience, we had to put these headphones on at the end of dinner. And then he is so motivational and inspirational and just like got in our heads. And it's a combination of him guiding you and then listening to inspirational quotes from profound leaders, that have been around for as long as history goes back. And it just like got me into this energy space of like, I just felt like pockets of my heart like opening with everything that I did. And it was just such a beautiful like intro to it. And then the next morning I was like, I must take Luke's class. Like he brought us out on this hike and I kind of felt like, oh, it's a sanctum hike. Like we're going out on a hike. I had never experienced his magic before. It was so much more than a hike. It was everything and more. And I was doing things, you guys, I don't normally do. Like jump squatting, very intense, very like high intensity kind of burst of energy, but with the combination of his soul and just like the inspirational person that he is, like getting it out of us, it just like opened something in me. And at the end of the hike, too, I just had felt like I could feel the emotions like building and building and building. And I did feel this part of me that didn't want to fully let that out because I don't know a lot of these people. And I'm definitely protective and I do get a little nervous in public to open myself up. But I just said, fuck it. Like, I'm here. We're all here. We're all here experiencing our own human experience. And like, we're truly, it's like we're all facing the same thing, but then so many different things in so many different ways. So I just, at the end, I just let it all flow. Like, I was crying. It was like such a deep, deep cry. And then, like, being with people that people that you don't know, it just like connected all of our energies and it connected our hearts. And there's just nothing more beautiful in life when you can open your heart and you can see other people's hearts. It lets people in and it helps people see you and you see them. And that is what connects you with people. And there were so many incredible speakers and guides, but one that really cracked me open was with Miriam. And I've known Miriam for so many years, and just to watch her create such a safe space for women and couples to go into the depths of themselves has been so beautiful to witness from afar. But to actually experience her women's workshop was, I cried a cry that I've never heard myself cry like this before. And we had a partner and she had us mirror our partner, and looking into someone's eyes is so intense, especially someone that you don't know, or even someone that you know. I almost find it harder that when it's someone who knows you. And looking into each other's eyes and speaking to that person in your life that may have hurt you, or that you have guilt, shame, regret, like just a buildup of emotions that are like buried inside of you. She had us do this exercise where we said everything that we've ever wanted to say. And it was so powerful, and it's scary, and it was hard. And then once you started shedding and letting it out, it kind of just, it was like, it started like flying out of you. And there were tears. And then she had us, we got ugly, and she said something that I can't stop thinking about. She was like, as women, we're always, looked at as being so beautiful and so pretty and so put together, and we carry all this weight. And she was like, I want you to get ugly. And I just like, letting yourself be ugly in a room full of powerful women all getting ugly was, it was just such a strong experience of like, holy shit, like what a powerful thing to not care what anyone here thinks, to not care about how I look. And then she had us get down, and we were all laying down, and we had these bolsters underneath our knees and a blanket. And she had said, and I remember this vividly because during the breath work that she had us doing, and she had us breathing open mouth. So, you're like gasping for air, and it kind of feels that way. And when I was doing that, I could feel my body start to like convulsing, like I was having I could feel a somatic release about to build. When I was fighting it, I was tensing up because I was so scared of what the hell was going to happen in a room full of people, but all our eyes were closed as I could feel the builds. And I feel like Miriam could pick up that energy because, she's guiding, and you can understand when someone's probably about to have a big release. And she said, press your spine into the ground, tip your head back, open your throat, and just stay with your breath. And ooh, I had the most soul awakening cry of my life. And I'm so happy that I let myself go there, because I was holding. And then, like I said, like I just immersed myself. I allowed myself to experience everything to the fullest. And that was exactly my experience. Like I experienced versions of myself that I haven't even let come to the surface because life. And, I'm so locked into my flow that I needed my flow to get fucked up, to open up a whole new channel in myself. And that's what this experience did for me. And I did feel a vulnerability hangover after. I felt a little like, oh God, it's very exposing to have that kind of experience. And I did have a girl I was talking to at the end, and because all of our eyes were closed, we didn't really know who it was who was crying like that for 5 minutes straight. And it was me, but she was like, oh, I was so happy when that girl had that cry. And I was just looking at her, and I said, it was me. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. Like, what a feeling. And I did feel that once I like got over being a little bit just vulnerable about it, I just, it was like the channels were open. And I also taught a beautiful class there that I felt like was one of my more spiritual classes that I've ever taught. And just giving myself permission to really guide in a spiritual way is something that I felt just is possibly something that I've held back myself, and just allowing that all to come out. I mean, that naturally happens when you're in a room full of 100 plus spiritual people taking your class. We get into these rhythms in our life, and sometimes we just have to shake up our own rhythm. And that's what this trip did for me. I shook something up in myself. I fully, and when I say fully, I showed up with a wide open heart. I allowed myself to be open, to set myself free. And in return, the amount of freedom, like self freedom, that I allowed myself to receive was a life-changing experience. And I don't always have these experiences. So I felt it was so important for me to share this, because I think when people create beautiful things, it's it's meant to be shared and spread as far and as wide. And I know that's why that I have the community that I have. And when you're so grateful for that love and sharing and sending that love, it's how it all goes around. So when you feel this for something, like share, share the things you love from the depths of your soul. Like sending love, you receive love back in so many different ways. And I also just have to say, because I was, I had some friends there, and Jenna and I, like, we did some things together, but it was so nice to be with a friend who, and I'm going to say this pretty lightly, but I'm also just going to say it. Because sometimes when you do experiences with friends, it can hold you back. It can weigh you down a little bit, and their experience becomes your experience, and it just kind of becomes a little blended because, oh, okay, I'll do that because you're doing that. And there was none of that with Jenna and I. And I just, it really made me cherish the relationship that we built, because we really see each other and we allow each other to kind of fully be ourselves. And we did different things, but then we'd come together nicely, but there was just no force or follow. There was no following. And I'm so happy that I went by myself, because it's a beautiful thing to experience things with people that you love, but it's also a very big, beautiful thing to experience something for yourself and to do something for yourself. And although I went there to work, it was everything and more. And what I left with and what I brought back with me is, it's time to rise up. It's time for us to really lock in to ourselves, to the things in our life that make us feel like we can freaking fly, that we can do all of those things in our lives that weigh so heavy on our heart, that we can actually make them our reality. We can make it come to life with our actions, with the way that we show up, with choosing joy. I think the most spiritual thing that any of us can do is to lead with joy, to let joy lead and pave the way, because it opens every single thing. It opens your eyes, it opens your heart, it opens the depths of your soul to feeling that light. And when we feel that light, we are that light. and we embody that light. And I am such an ambitious person. I'm so ambitious, and I recognize that, and I love that about me. But I also see how it can take me away from things. And I know that there's nothing more important than actually being where my 2 feet are and being with what is right here and not always thinking about the future self, the goals, the desires to a place where it takes you away from this moment. Like, this is where life is. It's not when you get the thing or when you break up with that relationship or you decide to take on that career or you get that job. It's right now. It's in the mess of it, the chaos and the challenges, in the lessons, in the triggers. It's really in this place of understanding that all of that stuff that comes up is an opportunity. Those are the opportunities for us to rise up, for us to look inside ourselves, not through the lens of life, through others, and to use these feelings, like that feeling that you get when you're just like, this is just how I felt coming home. Like, yes, bring it. Like, I want it. I am ready, but I want to make sure I'm so grounded and centered in myself. So I know that it is my soul and spirit guiding the way, and it is not my ego. Because sometimes ambition, your ego is taking over the ship. And I'm like, you can sit in the back seat. It's good to have our ego there for many reasons, but you are not driving. So just see where in your life you can have a little more fun. And it doesn't mean that you have to take the trip or go to Europe, but maybe it's doing something with yourself, taking 2 days, a Saturday and a Sunday first to lock in with yourself, but then to really, really tap into the things, the people, the activities, the conversations, the podcasts, and the I just think I keep thinking of like rollerblading. Like, what is it that makes you smile, that makes you open up? Like, what an opportunity all of the stuff that you feel is to get us more locked into ourselves and our true, true, true inner fulfillment.